Hey, it's me, VickiMarie. I'm just making a quick video to give you a little bit of news about the Idaho murders. Now, over the last few days, of course, there's been a lot of concentration. In fact, over the last week, I've been doing a lot of videos about Nicola Bulley and some of the sort of revelations by Peter Falding, etc. And we've been looking at the missing lady, Gaynor Lord. And I just saw this piece of news, and I think this is it's an important thing for those of us that are following as well other news like the Idaho murders, which I have done a couple of videos on, but not as many as I would have liked to, because I keep getting sidetracked by other news. And then, of course, it's coming up to Christmas. Been doing the advent calendars. And let me just give you, for those of you who don't know, because I know that people in Britain especially maybe don't know about this case or don't know much about this case. But basically, this is last year on November the 13th, 4 University of Idaho students were fatally stabbed in an off-campus residence in Moscow, Idaho, so in the USA. And it was a very mysterious thing because these 4 young people who were, there were 3 girls and 1 boy. So it was Madison Mogan, Zana Kernodle, who lived at the house, and there was a 3rd victim, Kaylee Goncalves. She had actually recently moved out of the house, but she'd returned to the house because she was attending a nearby party. And the 4th victim, Ethan Chapin, he was Zana's boyfriend, and he was sleeping over on the night of the attack. So 4 young people lost their lives on that night, brutally stabbed to death. And there were 2 other female roommates also living in the house, but they were not attacked. Anyway, I tried to remember to put the link for the previous videos that I've done on the Idaho murders. Now, there has been someone arrested. Bryan Kohberger has been arrested, and he will be going to trial. He's been arrested and charged on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. And again, the full sort of talking about him, more information about him, is on the videos that I've done previously. And the prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Bryan. So, you know, it'll be coming up next year. He's not chosen to go for a quick trial. He's postponing it as long as he can, it feels like. But anyway, the reason that I'm on here to talk to you about this case again now is a development that's happened is the house where the students lived. Initially, I think it's owned by the University of Idaho, and they said they were going to demolish the house because it was seen of such gruesome murders. And people were going there and, you know, taking TikTok videos and all this sort of thing that people unfortunately do these days on social media. So they said that they were going to demolish the house. Now, then they decided they weren't going to demolish it. And then the police went back out there and sort of stripped it more or less, searched it, took away, who knows what they were looking for, who knows what they took away, but took away as much as they could. And now, because bear in mind that the trial hasn't even happened yet. Sometimes in trials, jurors even want to go to the scene. This is why it surprises me that they're going to demolish this house. Now, they've actually announced that it is going to be demolished in 2 weeks' time. To me, it's a little bit of a surprise, you know, before even the trial, because, you know, I have seen trials where the jurors have asked to go and visit the scene so they can get a better idea, you know, of get a better idea of the scene and a better feel for whether what's said to have happened could have happened, or, just make sure that it all feels right, etc. So yeah, I'm very surprised. Even before the trial, so they're going to remove this house. They're going to pull it down. Let's have a look what Banfield has got to say about it on News Nation. Let's have a look.
As well. Were you as surprised as I was when we got this announcement today?
I really was, Ashley. I thought after they had delayed and delayed and delayed the demolition of this home, they were just going to leave it until trial went through. But once Bryan Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial and that October date was no more, the university just decided that this was time. It was time to happen. They don't want the house there. It's a really sad reminder of what happened. They don't kind of want those sort of tragedy looky-loos coming by. So it does kind of make sense, but I did think it would last throughout the trial.
Yeah, it's strange. Everybody seems to think it's strange. I mean, the police have gone, as I say, and exhaustively searched it, and they must have said, right, okay, we've got everything we need from there. But I still think it's strange to demolish it within 2 weeks, apparently.
I got word that, I've always been concerned about how the families are treated in all of this, that they get the information before we do. And I did find out that they were told at 9:30 this morning. Do we have any idea when the official announcement came out to the public?
The official announcement came out earlier today. I don't know the exact time and whether or not it hit the family before it hit the public. There was a press release up on the university's website that has been there kind of all day. But we do know that several of the families of the victims were really against the house being torn down. And I too am in that camp, having covered this story at the scene. I think there is a lot that can be gained from seeing the
Yeah, so the family seem to be against the house being torn down. I think I would be against if it was my family, which prayers and support goes out to the family, because it just must be awful. And now he's waived his right to a speedy trial. He's loving it. This guy, Bryan Kohberger, is loving all the attention. He doesn't want it to be a speedy trial. He wants it to go on as long as possible. He wants as much infamy as possible. He's got a fan club. He's got a fan club, this guy. These weird people who sort of just seem to think, killers are fantastic. He has got a fan club. And so he's loving every minute of it. He doesn't want it to be over with. That's the only power. That's the only pleasure he's got now. He's in prison. So, but he can get satisfaction from tormenting the family. He's that sort of person. So allegedly, of course, he hasn't been found guilty yet, but that's how I feel about him. He's loving it. He's reveling in it. And in the meantime, the family would have probably preferred a speedy trial. I mean, in a way, maybe they don't mind. They just want him to be convicted, don't they? They just want a successful conclusion to the trial. But yeah, of course, for them, it's the worst torture the longer it goes on. But for him, it's quite nice, really, because he's getting attention. He's staying in the public eye. But now for me, if that was me, I agree with, I would have wanted the house to stay there until the trial is finished, until he's finally been convicted. And there's nothing that anyone can turn around and say, oh, well, we can't go and find that, or we can't go and see that because the house has been torn down.
house in person. You kind of remove the opportunity for a future jury to be able to do a walkthrough or to see the scene should they want that. So I definitely was in that camp that thinks perhaps it should have been there in case you needed it at trial for some reason.
So at the same time that this announcement comes out, and again, I think 9:30 this morning to tell the families this, and then almost simultaneously, maybe it's after, but come on, it's day of, to tell the families. It just feels like it's quite a blow to them. This has been hard fought for them.
Yeah, I do think the families of victims, often they just get sort of, some things I understand, the police, you've got a trial coming up, so they've got to be careful what's released to the public, can't prejudice the trial, all that sort of thing. But like she says, if they're only just let know themselves first thing in the morning, then literally within an hour or so, the media is informed. Well, they've not got much time, have they, to prepare, because you can bet that as soon as that news came out, the first thing the mainstream media were doing was trying to contact the family to see what they thought.
And then on the same day, the defense is in there. Just the idea that the guy who potentially was in there, right? If he's guilty, he was in there. He created this horror, and his allies are in there today. On the same day that the families find out it's going to be torn down. It's just it's a lot to process. Do we know what they're doing exactly?
What they're doing with the house, they're planning on raising the home to the ground, and we don't know exactly what they're going to do with that space, but the University of Idaho does plan on putting up a memorial to the victims. I don't believe it's going to be at that space. I think they really want to try to deter people from going there in the future. And it's interesting, Ashley, as you said, this moment of this day and this timing, it makes me think of when the house will be raised to the ground. It should take a few days after the 28th, which brings us essentially to the 30th, which is the 1-year anniversary of Bryan Kohberger's arrest.
So apparently in a fortnight, it's going to be demolished, razed to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, and it sticks with me as well, because it's the day, this will be the day before my birthday, and Kohberger's arrest was the day after my birthday. So, what a sandwich. So what do we know about the defense team and what they had planned for today and for tomorrow?
Well, actually, we know they have already been to the house previously. They've already been to the property and inside, and they've taken, photos and done some tests with whatever it is that they garnered from there. And they're doing similar things today and tomorrow.
So the defence team are in there, or have been in there the last couple of days, gleaning their evidence, I suppose.
Inside, taking measurements, taking photos. I believe they also want to look into possibly doing some overhead drone footage. And those are the kinds of things they're doing within the next sort of 24 hours. And we also know that the FBI had been in there in November to similarly go back, do another walkthrough, take more measurements, take more photos. And I know that
it's very sad to see the house like that boarded up, because you could see from the photos that have been released of the young people that were murdered, that it was a happy house. They had fun there. There was a little dog there. They all had fun. It was known as a party house. People did come and go from that house. And it's very sad to see it like that and know what finally happened there.
FBI, according to the university, had gotten in there and really wanted to use some sort of devices to do visual reconstructions of the home that could be used at trial.
The idea that, again, Bryan Kohberger's people are in there, and it could be the second time that Bryan Kohberger's had a connection inside the house. Could be. Caitlin Becker, thank you for this. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, as I know a few of you have been interested in the videos that I've done about the Idaho murders. And I will keep following this case. So, but yeah, within 2 weeks, that house will be razed to the ground. And let's hope the police have got all the evidence that they need, because they won't be able to go back there. The jurors won't be able to do a walkthrough of the house. I'm presuming that they've taken camera footage, like virtual tour at least, because, that is going to come up, isn't it? But yeah, just a little bit of news there. I thought I'd let you know, and thoughts just go out to the families of the victims. Here we come up to Christmas, their first. It'd be their second Christmas without their loved ones, because it happened. I think it was in November last year, was it? Bryan Kohberger was arrested just after Christmas. So yeah, it was November the 13th, 2022 that it happened. So that will have been their first Christmas last year, and now they're facing another Christmas. But the thing is, nothing's been resolved, because the trial, goodness knows when the trial will be. I heard somebody say that it could be a couple of years before the trial even happens. And just incidentally, in that place, Moscow, Idaho, there had not been a murder there in that city since 2015. And then suddenly there were 4 all at once. So, yeah, a lot to come out about that when the trial starts, etc. The police did very well in catching him, in my opinion. They took a lot of stick at the time, like they always do. It felt like they weren't doing anything, weren't getting anywhere, and then boom, he was arrested. So, you know, finally they did do a good job. We'll just have to hope that it can go through the trial now and have a successful conclusion. Okay, so once again, I just put my little ticker up. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, or if you're a member of my channel, if you've bought me a Ko-fi, if you've sent me a super, your support means everything, because that's what helps me continue when I get trolled. You know, when the trolls come out, it's the nice messages of support, etc., that I get from everybody that keep me going on the channel. So thank you so much. And I'll see you very soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. Bye.